Well, hello, my beautiful Virgo. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your twin flame reading for the end of November, right through the end of December 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading, and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Virgo, this is your twin flame reading for those twins who are currently in separation. The first pile will be your pile, the second pile will be your person's pile, and the third pile is the unified energy of how things come together, okay? Now, also, it is worth looking up online what it means to be in a twin flame dynamic, because if anyone is mentally, physically, or emotionally abusive, that is not a twin flame connection. That's more likely to be a false flame connection, and it really will waste your wonderful time and drain you of your beautiful love. Okay, now I will give you a bite-sized idea of what it means to be in a twin flame dynamic. So if you already know that, please fast forward this part until I hold up your first card, or if you've heard it before, get to the point where I hold up that first card and take it from there, so I don't waste your wonderful time. But twin flames, they are magnetic. Think of yourself as a magnet. Think of your twin as your divine counterpart magnet as well. Both of you share the same frequency at the very core of you, and you seek each other out in each lifetime. So you're drawn to each other. You are always meant to meet each other, okay? It is a transformative relationship, but if you think of two magnets that are identical in polarities, they attract each other, but also repel each other. There is a space in between. Now that tends to be the separation period, because there has to be a runner, a chaser, and a separation period. Now that's not always typical to form, but it tends to be the norm, okay? So I want you to be aware of that. Now, twin flames, of course, they both feel the same. When you meet your twin, there is love, there is passion, there is electricity. It's all-consuming, almost obsessive. So it is an otherworldly kind of experience, and both parties feel it to the very core of their soul. But there's something in the way, something that needs to be healed, because that's how you change the frequencies within the magnets. It is, of course, a very physically romantic relationship at first, but it's more of a spiritual awakening than it is something physical and tangible. Now, there will be periods where you are separated and alone, and of course that can be a very lonely experience and very challenging, and I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. When it comes together in a union and is sustainable, it is a very rewarding relationship like no other, okay? But both parties need to sort through the stuff before they can come back together in a union. I always say do not wait for your twin, because your twin could take days, weeks, months, years to actually sort through what they need to in order to find unconditional love for self, focus on their sense of purpose, because that's what the twin flame dynamic triggers. Often twins have had some sort of traumatic experience before they even meet each other, things that have been left unhealed, and the relationship is a mirrored relationship. You may have heard of the twin flame mirror, and basically that is your twin looking at you, my beautiful Virgo, and seeing things within themselves that need to be healed, because the job of the twin flame relationship is to amplify any pain or sorrow that has been left unhealed, so that it becomes so monumental that you can't ignore it. You have to heal it. Okay, now, of course, it is a process that prepares both parties to release lower vibrational energy that keeps either party stuck in fear, self-loathing, addictive patterns, unhealthy attachments. Sometimes there can be trust issues that need to be resolved, insecurities, feeling like low self-worth, codependency, maybe even addictions. So it depends on your twin flame dynamic. It'll be different for everybody. But of course, this is a very transformative relationship. It's a journey of self-discovery, and it is one that must be done alone. And that is why there is a separation period. And of course, this will trigger a discovery of your true purpose, and it will encourage you to embrace unconditional love for self. Okay, and that's on both sides. Now, both parties want to be together, and that's why you keep trying to work it out. But unless the healing work has occurred, then it's not going to be sustainable. But it can be sustainable once both parties, find a way to work out the stuff, whatever the stuff is for each party. Now, of course, it's a formed sacred union as a result of shared difficulty and pain. So both parties will have had some similar experiences where the lessons were very close to being identical as well. And each twin has a job to reflect back to each other their greatest strengths and greatest weaknesses. So you can work on those, okay? And of course, it is a process, and it is very rewarding when you come together. But some people do ask, like, does the runner actually feel love? Are they just running off and just having fun and forgetting about their twin? Well, I used to be a runner when I first met my twin, and I can tell you, my twin was on my mind 24/7. It was all consuming. I was scared of it. I was like, why am I feeling this way regarding this person? But I had an experience before I met my twin that really shattered me into tiny little pieces, and I just didn't trust love. I had major trust issues, okay? And I felt unworthy of love, and I could not love another person until I loved myself first, of course. So that was a process and a ritual that had to occur before I could enter into a sustainable relationship with my twin. So if you're asking, does your twin think about you? The answer is yes. I'm going to tap into both sides to see what's going on there, okay? Because of course it's going to be different for all of you. But looking at your energy, my beautiful Virgo, right now, you're feeling very lost in this. You can't see how it's going to come together. You feel like it's done. The World card can indicate you learned a lot of lessons in this, but you are kind of like releasing this. I mean, the clouds are there, so that means that you feel very kind of like uncertain. You feel a little bit bereft, like you're drifting. 8 of Wands is there. Now, I only read the uprights of the cards. I feel like you've messaged this person in the past. You told them that they were literally your world, that you gave your all. The World card can indicate you give everything in a relationship. And this was a very changeable relationship is what I'm being given. I would say there's a little bit of conflict that happened in this relationship as well. Oh, okay. So this person, looking at the energy, they saw you that you were like a dream come true, and they literally walked away. I mean, this person with the birds, very restless kind of person, very changeable kind of person actually, is what I'm seeing there. There's something about friendship and influence from friends in this connection too. Okay, so I'm going to tap into that. Now, there's no blame here. I don't blame either sides. I don't take either sides. I try and understand the cards and the energy that's popping out there. Okay. I can see like the outcome energy cards here as well. And I'm hearing a song every time I look at that card. We got the Knight of Wands here. Now, the Knight of Wands is something that is not sustainable. Okay. I just want you to be aware of that. So I feel, because I'm hearing this song, Relight My Fire, very famous song. I think it's by Lulu and Take That. I mean, it's a cover that I'm hearing. I think it was sung by someone else before that, but I'm not really sure on who that was, so I'm not going to hazard a guess there. But I'm just hearing Relight My Fire. So you may actually hear that song over the next coming weeks, and you're going to hear from your person, because there is some energy here of messaging, and it feels very much like a very flirtatious message, but I got to see the rest of the cards here. Yeah, there's communication for sure. This person is going through a period of personal growth, but the moon card is still present, so there's still uncertainty here. We've got the sun and we've got the 3 of Cups. Now, this person, because they're in a number 8, it indicates they're in a solitary energy. They're not with anybody else. I want you to be aware of that. I feel like they kind of like it that way. That's what I'm being given right now. But let's get to your cards to see what's going on. There's messaging going on here. But I would say that there's going to be a breakthrough, but right now they're really like physically attracted to you. But I feel this person, they are on a journey of self-discovery because there is an energy here of kind of like misunderstanding intimacy. I feel this person, they've run away from their feelings, and their way of expressing love is very physical because they just don't want to go to the depths of feelings for some reason. There's got to be a reason here. I feel whoever I'm picking up on, I feel there's this energy that love in the past for them has left. Okay, they have loved and lost, but I'll get to their energy in a moment because right now you're feeling a little bit lost in this, my beautiful Virgo. You have the clouds. You have kind of like made yourself scarce because you can't do this anymore. A lot of you are like thinking it's so changeable, you don't know where you're at. It feels like one moment you feel like you've got a measure of the relationship and then you're flung into doubt, hesitation, confusion, and things are unclear. And when you don't know, because if I know a Virgo, and I know quite a few Virgos in my life, I love Virgos. You tell it how it is. You're exciting to be with, really fun. There's always this misconception, I think, that it's like Virgo, so like serious and practical and just tidy, neat freaks and things like that. And you can be all of those things, but you can also be wild and really entertaining and spontaneous and just, you live in the moment. You came here to experience and you're not afraid to do that. And I kind of love that about my beautiful Virgos, okay? Because I'm a Scorpio as well, so I really understand that. And I also understand this energy of being misunderstood. And I feel some of you feel misunderstood in this particular twin flame dynamic. Like they never really got to the bottom of who you are, okay? And I feel with this energy of they didn't want to get too close because they knew they would stick around. This person does not stick around. It's not in their nature right now until they heal something. But anyway, I feel this card right here for you as your protagonist energy, you're feeling a bit lost in this. Like you can't see being in the future with this person right now. You wanted to be with them. And I feel it was so changeable that the separation has led you to some dark thoughts like, are they seeing someone else? Were they cheating on me? Did they ever love me? Is there such thing as a twin flame dynamic? Well, I'm definitely picking up on a twin energy here. And because we've got the Fox and the Knight of Wands, there's an energy here of this person. It's like they love to flirt, but it's covering something. Doesn't mean that they get together with people. Doesn't mean they're off flirting either. This person, they seek validation. Okay, and that comes from someone feeling like they're not enough. They're not worthy of love. There's got to be more to this than this person is presenting because there's a bravado. This is something in front of their friends is what I'm seeing there. And deep, deep down though, they're actually a deep thinker, very sensitive, and as soon as someone is interested in this person, they kind of bolt or they get like, they just leave. We've got the moon eclipsing here in this card, and we've got the moon here as well. With this eclipse energy, there's a void with this person. This person is like, I'm being given the word abandonment right now, so either this person has been in a relationship in the past and was abandoned, or this person has been very independent in their whole life because they felt abandoned when they were younger. Now, again, I'm not here to give anyone an excuse or a way out, but an abandonment issue can trigger someone to walk away because they fear that they will be left again. And it's like, how am I getting this from this person? It's like they've learnt that emotional intensity, because of course you have the Eight of Wands, which is a lot of intensity, a very quick, passionate, you know, all-consuming relationship. You taught them to kind of like go to places that other people did not go to. There's this energy of like, you're different, you're unique, you're fiery, you're exciting to be with, okay? And they've learned from their past that emotional intensity is danger. I gotta tell it how it is, because this person, as soon as things get like super intense, this person's like off. They disconnect, they're walking away. And I feel it's because they've lived in that sort of intensity in a different way in their past story, in their past narrative. When things got like spicy and volatile or angry or frustrating or passionate or just intense in general, this person saw closeness as where things get painful. And I feel perhaps growing up, this person had to manage some sort of challenging dynamic. They were the manager. They were the, and I'm not sort of talking about a manager in a job. I'm talking about like they were always in fight or flight mode, because you've got the birds here and you've got the Eight of Cups. This person, they just learned it's easier to walk away, or it's easier to be on the run or on the go. So I feel they were hypervigilant in their personal life before they even met you. And I feel that they have this energy of like, it was going too quickly or it happened too fast. And you may be aware of that, but this person, I mean, they see you as a dream come true. But that intensity is something that has triggered them to kind of like walk away. Okay, so I'm going to get to their cards in a moment, but you can't do this. You know, the clouds energy that has come out for you indicates that now you're making yourself scarce because you're done. You can't do this. So you may have kind of like stopped communicating. I definitely see you communicated to this person. You sent them a message, and perhaps you've even tried to make sure. I'm just going to show you the World card because it's a little risque for YouTube. YouTube doesn't like some of the cards recently, so I'm just going to cover some of the bits there. But the World card can indicate you think it's over or you're done with this. You're just so fed up of this. You know, you want to move on. You didn't really want to, but I feel like you've got no other choice. You feel it's run its course because right now it's not giving anything. You're just like, it's evaporated. It's disappeared. But this person's giving energy of like, relight my fire. Your love is my only desire. That's what came out earlier. And I just heard a burst of it right now, but didn't get the lyrics to it. So listen out for that song. But this person, it's like love is desire for this person. But there's more to that. This person needs to learn the depth. I mean, they've got the depth, but they need to like stop feeling like they get the jitters. If you think about a bird, that bird is on that branch and it can stay a while, but it needs to flee. It needs to like fly off. This person needs an exit point in every single thing that they do, even like in a job. This person may have not liked to be caged in some way. And I feel like you were not caging this person in. You offered them a foundation of love, but there was some sort of misunderstanding at the beginning. It feels very like both of you kind of like came wanting the same desires or wanting the same comfort in each other or finding the same thing within each other. But there feels like something was said that was misunderstood. Now, I'm not being given what this is, but that was the trigger point for the distance between both of you. And there's no blame. I just feel like there could have been more communication on that in that moment. Something that will be communicated later on and resolved later on. Both of you are going to be like, I thought you meant this. And you're going to be like, no, I meant this, or vice versa. There's going to be something here that's cleared up that has been misconstrued, and the real truth comes to light. And then you celebrate the fact that, well, we love each other. We kind of want to be together. So what's next? There is a communication in your future. It's going to be a process, that's for sure. But looking at the energy, I mean, with the World card and the Eight of Wands, a lot of you, you know, you may have even been dissecting your feelings, like, was this lust or was this love? I definitely feel there was love there because the World indicates you gave your all. Okay, this person was your world, and I feel like you kind of felt vulnerable opening up to this person, but you still surrendered to the connection. And of course, the World card, this is movement, especially with the Eight of Wands there. You may have sent this person like a message, maybe even like when you were traveling or Maybe you're thinking about relocating or something and you sent them a message to kind of let them know, or you indicated that you're moving on in some way. But the Eight of Cups, I mean, you're both in eights energy. This is you moving forward and this is them sort of moving away. So this person's completely shut down, but I feel they're restless with their choices. They've got a Nine of Cups. I always say whoever walks away on the Eight of Cups stumbles into the Nine of Cups. But they've got the Nine of Cups first, and then they chose the Eight of Cups. And that's not normal. So there's got to be something under there where it's like you were everything to them. Okay? And the Hangman energy, because they've got the birds, which is number 12, that's Hangman energy. It indicates that there was either something that kind of caused a restriction, or it kind of turned things upside down in this connection. And this person surrendered the union because they got into their fear or their fight or flight mode. Okay, but I'll pull some cards on this person. Eight of Wands, a lot of you are giving back to yourself at this moment. You're trying to advance in life. You're focusing on transforming your life. Because your first card is the Clouds, which basically means with number 6, you love this person. You wanted reciprocity, okay? But the Clouds indicates a hesitancy. You can't trust this union anymore because you've given so much with little in return. It's not fulfilling anymore. And with that World energy, I feel like you've shut things down, or you perceive that it's over, it's done. And you're thinking about moving on or just getting on with your life, living your best life, trying to be in the flow. Now, remember the magnets. Because when you do that, you're giving back to yourself. You're changing the frequency within you. And that means that you are encouraging your person's magnet to change frequency as well. When this magnet changes frequency, this one comes closer. Okay, so there is an energy here of a message. You're definitely going to hear from your person. You've got the letter, you've got the Ace of Swords. This is all about communication. This is an energy of a breakthrough and a transformation. But there's something in this person's psyche about needing validation, feeling like they're not enough. And you're not just here to be someone's ego rub, my beautiful Virgo. You're not here to just be switched on and off like a light switch whenever this person comes on into your life. So you're taking accountability for your actions and you're advancing away from a cycle of repeat. That's why you've got the World energy. You're like, I'm done with the cycle. I'm fed up. I can't do this anymore. It ends here. What you do not change, you accept. And looking at the energy here from you, you do not accept. Okay? Now we do have the birds. Now this person is a very sociable person, okay? Or they like to go out. This person's very restless. They don't stick around too often for anything, really. Okay? And as I said, that doesn't mean that they're going from job to job to job. It can indicate that when they think about things like pension or 401ks, or when they think about like locking themselves into a contract for a cell phone, this person's like, they don't like it. They get overwhelmed. Like, what does it mean? How long am I locked into this? There's got to be a reason for this with this person. Now, birds, when you look up the LENORMAND deck, it means messaging. Okay, so there is going to be messaging between you both. And for some of you, you've already started messaging each other, but because the Clouds is there, it indicates that, you know, you may have been like, and this is only if you've just been receiving messages, you may have been like messaging and then like disappearing. Clouds are transient. You know, they evolve. 1 minute they're there, next minute they're gone. So you're kind of like mirroring their energy as well. But just be a little bit mindful of that, because sometimes, especially when a person is misunderstanding intimacy as something physical rather than emotional, that can give off, it can give off like a measure of someone thinking, oh, well, they're not serious, so I can just get away with coming in and out. You know, so it's like if there's no strings attached, then they're just going to think, oh, well, there's no strings attached. So just be mindful of how you're communicating what it is you want in the relationship, and teach this person how you want reciprocity or erect healthier boundaries to highlight what it is you deserve and desire in a relationship. So if that's something you're communicating back and forth right now, some of you may be really cool with having no strings attached and just like seeing how it goes. But if there's feelings here, which of course you wouldn't be here if there wasn't, I see there is love here. I feel it needs to be communicated a little bit more. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Majority of you have not heard from your person and are making yourself scarce because out of self-preservation mode, you're kind of teaching them what it feels like not to have you in their life. You're absent. So you are kind of becoming the runner, and they're going to start coming towards you with messages because they have the birds there. So let me just pull a quick card on this. Show me about the birds. I'm also being given this energy that some of their friends are telling them to get their act together and really like work out what it is they want from their life. And they keep having a discussion about you because there's communication here about you. This is how they feel about you. They can see you're super independent. That's really interesting because this person, whilst they love to be independent all by themselves, when they see your independence, they realize you don't need them. You want them, but you don't need them. Now, needing is, of course, codependency. So there could be something in and around your person regarding that where they need to heal that within themselves. We got King of Wands energy. We got the Empress. Look at that. This person, you know, they're highly attracted to you. There is a little bit of an age gap here, but it's not something that is getting in the way of the union. This person sees you as really attractive. Okay, with the Empress energy, I mean, they keep talking to their friends about you. This is a couple energy. It is slightly misaligned in that someone is playing spiritual catch-up. That's the King of Wands energy. This is a very spiritual card. It indicates that, you know, someone who is inspired to lead and, of course, has more to learn. They had to learn more confidence within themselves. And we've got the Empress energy, which is a more sort of emotionally available energy. So I would say that you and this person, you've both talked about each other to your friendship groups, and their friends keep saying, look, you keep talking about this person. Why don't you just step up? Why is it not working? So I feel with these two cards, like I am also feeling an influence from these friends. Okay, I feel like they have a masculine, feminine energy that is influencing. Now, they're parental figures, my guide said. No, it's influences from parental figures. So also friends, but thank you so much, I'm so grateful. Also friendships, but it's like the dynamics between you and your twin reminded them of their parental figures, their guardians or family, their parents, basically, is what I'm seeing. And both of you are really nothing like them, okay? But they saw how good it can be, and then there's a little bit of a misunderstanding here. There's also a little bit of conflict going on there. It's like you're both so passionate and intense with each other, it could be going either way. And that reminded them of something from their childhood, is something that I'm seeing there. And they're like, I'm out, because they were the manager of how things kind of went down between their parents or guardians when they were younger. That's a tough one to unpack, okay? I just actually saw an envelope right now. It says private on it. So either this is something that they got from a parent or guardian that's a private letter that they read and they're like, it's a lot. They may tell you about this, or maybe this is just an indication to me that we just stay away from that part of their life because it is private. They will tell you when they feel it is right. Thanks so much. I'm so grateful. Now, I'm also seeing that this person, like, they left their family home really early to get away from this, whatever this was, okay? I don't want to say that they ran away from home, okay? But I'm just getting this energy that they left early. But that's coming through there as well. It started from a very young age, like, I need to be out. It's like a disassociation from something that was challenging. And it's just played out in their friendships, relationships. And it's something that kept them on the run. This person's always been on the run. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. Nine of Cups, this is how they feel about you as well. They see that you're very sociable. And if they've got a trust issue or they've got something going on here, they feel like you're going to leave because there is an abandonment issue at the very core of this person. And they leave and it feels like they've been left. It just feels like this person is very chaotic. They're in fight or flight mode and they just did not want to fall in love. Okay, there's something here of sadness. Something was eclipsed. There's like loss or regret or feeling unloved. No matter how much you can love this person right now, this person still feels unloved because they haven't done the emotional work within themselves. They've abandoned themselves in a lot of the moments in their life as well, is what I'm seeing there, okay? Now, I'm just going to pull one more card before I get to the outcome energy for this. Can you show me anything more beyond this? The Eight of Cups, you know, I feel like, and I got to be honest with you, you're shutting down a cycle with this person, my beautiful Virgo, but this person's coming back on in, and I feel like they check out your social media. If you're on social media, they think about you a lot. They're really curious about what you're up to. But right now, looking at the energy, I would say they're going to come on in strong, very flirtatious. It's not sustainable. You will repeat a cycle. That's not your intention, but looking at the energy, you got that Knight of Wands there. There is growth going on, so you can see that this person's going to try and open up to you, okay? But they haven't left like a party lifestyle. They're still very sociable. They're just not looking to settle down at this moment in time. I gotta tell you how it is, and the cards are reflecting that. So can you be together with this person? Of course. It'll be a process, but you'll be waiting for a little bit more, okay? We have the Page of Swords. Yes, someone who's hypervigilant. Eight of Cups, I mean, that's it. They always choose. Look at these cards. Page of Swords. Now, this can be that they become aware. They've been called to attention, as it were. And I feel it's their friends that are calling them out, saying, oh my gosh, you always run away. Because they've got the Eight of Cups again and the Ace of Cups. This person, they are hypervigilant. Page of Swords is someone who overthinks, hypervigilance, fight or flight mode, someone who's always like preempting a threat or something painful. And then we got the Eight of Cups. They're out straight away. They disassociate. And we got the Ace of Cups. So this person needs to learn to love themselves fully, to feel more comfortable with love sticking around, because it's almost like they become the thing that they don't want the most to happen to them. So, I mean, they do love you. And I feel this person, they can't stop thinking about you. They're going to tell you this. And they really do mean it. That is like their honesty. That is their truth. But they're just sabotaging the connection out of their fear. We have the Fox, okay, and the Letter. So the Letter just means you're going to get communication from this person. It means they're going to tell you something you don't know. Okay, they're going to express how they feel. And they're going to reveal something that they've been thinking about for some time to reveal to you. They've written this message. I feel like they've edited it a couple of times. They nearly even sent it, but then they stopped. They're going to tell you that as well. Okay, but we got the Fox here. Now the Fox indicates this person trying to think of the best way to communicate with you, but also it is an energy of like, they're very witty and very charming. You know, it's not that this person has a hidden intention, but I feel like no one can give them the fix, the chemistry that you have with them. And that's them covering their emotions. I mean, this is them on a journey of self-discovery. So they are kind of trying to transform. They are needing to walk away from this connection right now because it is the rite of passage. They've chosen a path that they feel is right for them, not the one that is expected of them right now. And they're in a period of re-examining where they've been to understand where they are right now so they can fearlessly kind of face something and not cover this superficiality kind of energy. Like, because I feel this is surface level. This is like very physical energy. This is wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. I'm so connected to you. But you know what? I don't really want to go into my feelings right now. This is not sustainable. And I would say these two cards together, this is a flirt. Okay, this is someone who's always looking back, but always someone who has been very independent. Foxes are actually beautiful. I don't know why people said sly as a fox. I mean, they're very clever. I don't feel there's any manipulation with this person, but I feel there is a hidden depth to this person. And foxes are like scavengers. You know, they look after themselves because they have experienced harsh environments. So I feel, you know, your person is someone who is a little bit more like the Joker. And I'm not talking about like from the Batman series. I'm talking like someone who's a Joker, who's like, they would like to laugh at themselves or they just want to go out and have fun. They cover, you know, but deep down, there is a missing ingredient, and they were offered the missing ingredient in the love with you. And for some reason, they didn't trust it. I feel it reminded them of, a dynamic from their home life where they had to manage two people's arguing, bickering, or self-sabotage. There's definitely self-sabotage with this person, and it's very messy, whatever this person's experienced. And I feel in order to make sure that you or anyone who comes into contact with this person does not get caught up in all of that, this person just leaves. It's just easier. So we have that Knight of Wands, which means flirtatious message coming on in, something that is not sustainable this time round. The Moon card, they are sensitive, they are in their feelings, but as you can see, there's a dog and a wolf there. Companionship with the dog, should they settle down? Do you want to settle down with this person in its present form? Well, of course, with the clouds energy for you, my beautiful Virgo, it's a no. It's a hard no from you right now. And of course, the wolf is all about independence. It's about, going out and having adventures and then coming back to the pack or coming back to something that feels like home. But it is something that's temporary and not as consistent as perhaps you would like. So there's a lot of soul searching going on in this connection. Can they find their way home to you? The answer is yes, but I feel it's not right now. I got to be honest with you. Will there be communication? The answer is yes. You've got an Ace of Swords. There will be some very cerebral breakthroughs with this person, and I feel like they are going to take some responsibility for their actions having a consequence in the shutdown of this connection. So there is going to be a very blunt conversation. This is a truth. This is a clarity moment, especially when you've got the Sun. They're going to tell you why they're always on the run, why they like to party, why they don't like any strings attached, why they have been on their own. They're going to tell you, and they're going to tell you the truth. And what you do with that is up to you. Now, this person needs to mature into finding themselves, to seeking beyond the party lifestyle or seeking beyond the path that they've chosen right now. And I feel like they have some more soul searching to do and more catharticism when it comes to their emotions, because something of a sadness, this is a lament. They have to understand why they withdraw as soon as love, intimacy, unconditional love is on the table for them. Because they've always been on the run. But they're always looking back at you right now, and that's got them thinking. Why is it they can't stop thinking about you? They've walked away from other people in the past, and they don't even blink an eye. They don't even think. But for you, they're looking back. So that's made them think, what is it? They're curious. What is it that you two have that other people have not triggered within them? And that's going to promote their personal development and growth there. So they're going to have lots of downloads, mental downloads there where they seek knowledge. Three of Cups, the Three of Cups is partying. It is celebration. It is also two people sharing a moment. It doesn't have to be three. The history of the Three of Cups is about coming together in community and celebrating each other, enjoying the moment. Okay, so looking at the energy, the Eight of Cups, this person is not with somebody else. Yes, they like to feel good about themselves, and if someone pays them a compliment or tries to flirt, they're going to just suck it up. They love it, but they don't connect. They don't even physically connect looking at the energy, because this is their protagonist energy. 8 is the number of the self. So both of you are in your self energies right now. That is the rite of passage for a twin flame dynamic. It's meant to be this way at this moment in time. But the Three of Cups, for some of you, and not all of you, some of you, your person, they like to drink, or there is not an addiction. They like intoxication. Okay, there's a difference. But this person may have been running away from something and numbing their feelings. They have a lot of cups here, okay? So that's something that is coming through here as well. But in the new year, and I know that sounds so far away, okay? But I do feel in this new cycle, as you close out this year and into next, this person is going to get a very sobering view of their life. And it's going to really awaken them and start thinking about their future. Okay, and this could be the cusp of where you hear from this person or get this message. Okay, so that's coming through strongly as well. So I would say right now in its present form, my beautiful Virgo, this person's going to repeat a cycle with you. You're going to hear from them, but flirtation, physical attraction, physical, like intimacy, but not emotional, because they're still running away from something, this person, and they haven't quite got a measure or handle on healing. Okay, so I'm just going to go and get some final cards that can highlight any conversations that have been left unsaid. Okay, so I let my doubts and fears get the best of me. I definitely see that this is true with this person. There's something here about abandonment, okay, but also having to manage two people and being in fight or flight mode, which tells me there's been a volatile home life, okay? I miss you. I feel like this is true. This person may even message you, I miss you. Now, this is not something that is just like randomly sent to a lot of people. This is something they very much send to you, but it is, again, something that is very kind of like sparse in its messaging, and it will kind of highlight that, you know, there's going to be another cycle. They will come on in strong and they will disappear again or walk away. So do with that information what you will. Guard your heart, my beautiful Virgo. We've got I love you. I feel like this person does and actually has admitted this to their friends, okay, but they haven't been able to get out of their own way yet. They're still self-sabotaging. And your smile makes me melt. Ooh, this person, they got the chat, right? So this person, very charismatic, and of course, they do mean it as well. But remember, actions speak louder than words, okay? So I'll leave it there, my beautiful Virgo. I hope something resonates for you in this reading. I'm going to get a trinket or a rune before we close. We've got a backpack, okay? I mean, that's symbolic of someone who's always on the go, someone who's quite nomadic right now. They are living a life where simplicity is kind of the key to the way they want to live things. So it can be that they just don't want any attachments right now. I mean, they will come around in time, but you're not going to be there looking at the energy. Some of you are literally traveling or relocating, and that may also be a message there. I feel like both of you are on this major journey of self-discovery. So if you're going off on a vacation, my beautiful Virgo, to really discover more about yourself and your path, enjoy it. You're going to have an incredible time. And of course, I feel like there's a lot of success surrounding you as well. And I'm sending you a huge hug because twin flame dynamics are very challenging. But this can be resolved with accountability, honest, open conversations. But this person needs to stop numbing something in order to really see it for what it is. Okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates. Thank you so much, and love and light.